This is our first AAF 102 video, the basics. We're going to talk about the Grimoire, the magic document. And if you grasp the contents of this document, it's kind of all you really need to do the fellowshipping. So that's why we read it every meeting. And what I'm going to do is kind of go in depth on each part of it, and that way you know when you hear it read, it's like, okay, well, what does that mean exactly? Well, this is what it means exactly, more or less. Sharing is our magic. Don't squish the magic. We gather to share our experiences, not to receive knowledge or instructions. The magic of our fellowship doesn't come from fixing each other's problems. The magic comes from sharing, being heard, and being accepted. Sharing is our magic. Don't squish the magic. So obviously this is for the people listening to the person sharing. And you may want to offer some advice. They may ask you for advice. In either case, don't give them any advice. That's not what we're doing. What you can do is you can offer counsel. You can request to offer counsel. Or if they ask for advice, respond by offering counsel instead. And that's a technical term, offer counsel. And what that means is that you share your own experience of dealing with whatever it is they're talking about or something similar. Or it could mean, someone that you know personally went through something similar or went through the same thing, and then you can share what you observed or what they told you when they were going through it. What would not be, so like I said, what would not be okay would be to respond with advice. Not okay. Nothing along the lines of, oh, here's what you should do, or, why don't you try blank? Or definitely not okay to share whether you agree or disagree with what they said. It's not relevant, and it's hurtful, whether it's meant to be or not. And here's why. Because when you're sharing something you're struggling with or something you didn't want to tell anybody, you're putting yourself out there. And when it's met with any kind of advice or any kind of opinion, it's like who you are is getting crushed and invalidated and made wrong. And you're only going to do that once or twice before you never do it again. On the other hand, when you put yourself out there and it's met with acceptance and it's met with encouragement, it's magical. It's the point of this whole document. It really is magical. And so that's that. Another way that you can respond. So let's say no counsel's asked for, or counsel is declined, or there's nobody that has any specific experience to share. Another way to respond to the sharing that doesn't squish the magic is to echo back what they said, which really means recreate exactly what they said in their words, not in your words. When you try to rephrase something or give your own insights on it, that has the same effect as advice. It's invalidating. And what you'll find is that as you participate in these meetings, you'll be able to sense it for yourself, and you'll be able to feel why we don't offer advice or opinions. You'll be able to feel when the magic gets created and when it gets squished. Also, don't worry about screwing this up a few times. You're learning a new brain pattern, and the old brain pattern is going to kick in. So when that happens, the meeting leader will interrupt if needed, and it's fine. I have a lot of practice with this, and I still do it. And I'm not kicking myself out, and nobody's kicking me out, and nobody will kick you out. So it's all good. That's the first part. The second part of the Grimoire says, trust is our magic circle. Don't break the circle. The most powerful magic is created when you share the one thing that you don't want to tell anyone. This vulnerability is risky, and the fellowship requires a truly safe place to share, which means that what you hear here and who you see here stays here. Trust is our magic circle. Don't break the circle. Which means don't name drop. It's fine if someone shares, if you're trying to invite somebody in or you're just telling somebody about your day or whatever. It's like, you can share, oh yeah, I was in a meeting and one of the people there was talking about this subject and it was cool to hear it, or what, blah, blah, blah. Don't name drop. Keep it gender neutral and be vague about which meeting it was. Don't say it was this meeting on this day at this time. That part's kind of self-explanatory, but that's the explanation. Now, what's not self-explanatory or obvious is the first part. The most powerful magic is created when you share the one thing you didn't want to tell anyone today. And here's where I refer to my notes a little bit. When you bring your darkest secrets to light, it creates an opening for confidence and peace of mind to begin to grow inside of you. And it seems like a terrible fucking idea until you hear someone else do it first. And what reliably happens is that when you hear somebody else share their secrets or share something they were hiding, or something that's embarrassing, when they share that and the group responds with acceptance, and you recognize your own thoughts and your own feelings inside of what they said, it becomes really clear really quickly why we suggest that you share your secrets. That's the magic, man. It's just magical. It's just frickin' magical. There's also something really cool about being straight about where we're crooked. Being real and putting the mask down. It's something that comedians do really well. They point to this thing that we all pretend we're not thinking, but we are. And you're like, oh, I do think that. I didn't know anyone knew. I was trying to, but like everyone's pretending we don't think like that. So that kind of stuff happens a lot, and it's really cool. And yeah, I think that's everything on second part of the Grimoire. So let's wrap it up. Third part of the Grimoire. Friendship is the air we breathe. Don't suck the air. Anyone that wants friendship and adventure is welcome in this fellowship. Even noobs, elitists, and assholes. Save your politics and religion for Thanksgiving dinner, and respond to every share with acceptance. Be sincere, be compassionate, be encouraging, be patient, or be shush. Friendship is the air we breathe. Don't suck the air. That is fairly self-explanatory, For one thing, you may be the asshole in the room one day. So, be patient. And we did have a meeting where what somebody had to share, what they were struggling with, what they were dealing with, was related to politics. And it's definitely okay to share that stuff. Obviously, there's a lot going on, and it's very stressful for everybody. And it's okay to share that stuff. What's not okay is then for somebody else to then respond with, oh, here's my opinion about the politics, or here's what I think about that, or here's why you're wrong about what you think. None of that's appropriate for what we're doing here. So, I think that's all there is to say on that one. Yep, that's it. So it's a pretty good primer. Really, like I said, if you grasp these concepts, that's what it's all about, man. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can leave them in the comment section, but nobody's really monitoring that, so just email merlin@avalonfellowship.org. And you can like or subscribe if you want to. there's not really any reason to. I guess if you subscribe, then, you know, there will occasionally be a new video. But it's not like it's going to be every week or anything, okay? So, do you think? Bye-bye.